Right, I've finally got round to doing some new packaging for these springs, and I thought it was a good time to sit down and have a look at how the test spring, the original test spring that I had made about 2 years ago, how that is faring up now. And I think I've done with that spring, I must have done between 500,000 and 600,000 cycles on this particular gearbox as well. So it's been well tested, it's been well used. So for 2 years, had the new packaging done, nice and simple to keep the costs down. A lot of people ask about the costs of these, and the reason you can get this spring for, I mean, literally this is like £7.50. This spring so cheap is because I get them made directly with a factory, a spring factory in Asia. I get them made. I don't buy them from a wholesaler. I don't buy them from a main dealer or anything like that. I just get them made myself. I went to the spring factory. I said, "What's the best steel that you've got?" And they came back to me and said, "Oh, we do this spring called, we got this Japanese heat treated steel that's used for car valves. So those little valves go up and down, and they've got like the spring on them. Years ago, I don't know what they're used in cars now, but anyway, that steel has to be incredibly strong. It has to be incredibly resilient, and they use it in cars or engines. They use it in engines basically. So let's put these one aside. Now we've got there's an M160 here now as well, and generally the difference you can see like any other springs that are on the market. You know, when you start getting into the higher ends, that they tend to stay the same length, but the number of coils increase and the thickness of the wire, and that's what really sort of keeps these springs from deforming is the thickness of the wire and the number of the coils. So it's got a nice base in which it can keep its strength. So let's put these to one side. Okay, let's take the test AEG I've got here. Now I'll put this in. So this must have went in 3 years ago, I think it was around about then. And now when this was new, this is the M110. You can see it's just a little bit shiny from where it's been obviously rubbing up and down on the inside of the case and in and out like that. But it's still perfectly in shape. There we go. Look at that. Bearing in mind how many, this is half a million rounds, half a million cycles on this. So let's move that over there. So this, when it was new, this was 170 mil long. It's the wire thickness is 1.3. I think it's 1.3. Could be 1.4. I can't remember. Anyway, that won't have changed, but the lengths tend to change. I mean, that's what causes the springs to lose their power over time. You know, they shrink. They go into the gun, they get fired a few times, and then they shrink. So let's have a look here. So bearing in mind, it started off at 170 and it's on 169. So it's only lost 1 millimeter. And I remember I'm looking at my note sheet from back then, and I kept them. It lost that 1 mil at 2,000 cycles. So it lost 1 mil at 2,000 cycles, and that was it. And then since 2000, it's not changed at all. So let's just grab these. These are how they tend to come. Just come like in big bags like this, all jumbled up, and then I've got to take them out sorted. You know, they're covered in grease as well. So here we go. There's a few up here. So let's just take one of these out. Let's take that one out. Let's give this a measure. So yeah, my hands are covered in grease now. Great. Okay, let's give that a measure. So yeah, 170 right on the nose. 170. So brand new 170, and then for the test one, which is where did I put the test one? Oh, here it is. Okay, test one here, test one there. Yeah, one mil shorter at the top, and that 1 mil is not going to make any difference at all. So what we're going to do now, I might get the magnifying glass, the magnifying tool on this thing, and then you can have a look at the differences between the steel, and you can see some cheaper springs. Some cheaper springs you can sort of, you know, with looking at it for the naked eye, you can see some of the metal start to peel a little bit. You can see little rust spots on the metal. Some of the real cheaper ones, like they have in obviously in from China, you know, they zinc plate them. You know, a lot of the silver ones, they zinc plate them, and they all look great. But what that zinc plating does, it covers up the material underneath, so you can't quite see how bad it is. So when you think, oh, it's got zinc plating, and think, oh, that's nice, but really what it's doing most of the time is just covering up the bad steel, and covering up any rust spots, or which you shouldn't get any zinc plating on any rust, but it will cover up any weird formations in the steel. So yeah, so let's chrono these two as well, and we'll see what difference we get, and then we'll get the magnifying glass and have a quick look. All loaded up. That's the gun here. We've got a 3/4 cylinder in there. Everything's sort of standard, just a basic pairing on there. Blah 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 blah. We've got, I think it's a 285 here, so it's matching to the 3/4 there. We've got we're firing .2s here, just because it's easier to interpret the results. Remember, it's an M110 spring in here that we've just fitted. Battery, blah 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 blah. So let's turn this on. There we go. Right, let me turn that up. Let me turn it up like that. There we go. That's better. Okay, let's fire a few off here. Yeah, what's this? 111, 110, 110, 109.8, 109.4, 109.8. Yeah, so again, bang on. Look, there we go. Look, 40, 4, 109. Yes, really happy with that. Really happy with that. Incredibly happy. Yeah. So bang on the money. Bang on the money. I will get round to doing some more tests of all the others at some point, and just seeing if there is any difference. But that, you know, there won't be. As long as that's hitting 110, then I'm happy. Bearing in mind that's done 500,000 shots, so it's good. So it shows me that the steel is holding up really well.